there. Today I'm bringing to you something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I decided to do it now because it's this little sketchbook. Here's almost 1 year anniversary. It would have been 1 year yesterday since I made this sketchbook. It's homemade. As you can see, it's not very fancy. It's 8.5 by 5.5. The cover here is just a piece of cardstock, and there's a couple of these, throughout, dividing the different sections. There's just holes punched up at the top here, and these are just Dollar Tree book rings that I hold it together with. And I like this format for all my sketchbooks. I pretty much don't buy sketchbooks anymore. I just make my own because I can control what kind of paper I put in here. I can put multiple types of paper in here. And I'm one of those people that gets like sketchbook anxiety when you have a new sketchbook. It's like, I can't draw on the first page. I'm going to ruin it. Well, I could take it out if I really ruined it. I've actually never needed to do that. I think just having the option is really important. More so, I use it to add things in when I want to, like things that I sketch on. Other scraps of paper I can, punch holes in and just slam it on in here. So I've got multiple sizes of these. This one's just my favorite size because it's half of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, so it saves on paper. It's really convenient. I have the original version of this book that I had made had holes on the side, but I like them better up top because then I can flip it and do both sides of the page and there's no, rings getting in the way. But I guess that's enough explanation, and I'm just going to go ahead and open the book rings and get them out of the way because I think that's going to be the easiest way to show you what's in this sketchbook. I say as I fumble with the book rings, but this sketchbook is not complete. Oh my gosh, why is this giving me such a hard time? This sketchbook is not complete. I rarely ever actually complete them. I usually just make a new one and move on, but I figured now is as good a time as any. It's the anniversary of this little sketchbook, so let's get started. So these first several pages I doodled when my mom was in the hospital getting surgery last year, and that's what I had made the sketchbook for. It was a lot smaller then. I've since added a lot more pages. I made it so that I had something to do while I was in the hospital waiting room for like a whole bunch of hours. So these here are some characters of mine that I made with a friend. So we have Pajama Baby Dancy Pants, who is the Fresno Nightcrawler alien. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos before, but it looks like a pair of pants. So she's just like a little pair of pajama pants, and she's a perfect precious angel. And then there's Mothmanda, who is a female Mothman alien. And they get all kind of wacky adventures, Pajama Baby's just super cute. On the other side here, I've got my character Noelle, the main character of a novel that I had written, or a novella, I guess technically. I tried to do like a figure sketch of a dude in the waiting room, and one of the plants in the waiting room. He noticed I was drawing him though, and it got super awkward, so I just stopped. So there's another Mothmanda, another Pajama Baby. And that's my little note about how it's August 17th and I was in the waiting room for Mom's surgery. I was there for many hours. It was a very long day. And I was using Charlie pen for these, which was a noodler's pen that I got for free with the ink that I was using here. So then there's more waiting room doodles. I reread Medea, like the play, while I was in the waiting room. And I loved that story in high school. So I was drawing my girl. And then there's me saying that the coffee is free, but it's also terrible. So there was a little bit of a trade-off going on there. There's Medea again on the other side. She holding a knife. She's going to mess someone up. And that was with Charlie pen. Now these ones I did the ink for, and then I colored them later that night. So there's one of my characters, Mara. And there's Tommy. There's the Flatwoods monster. I'm really into cryptids. Cryptids are fun. My friend suggested I draw a tawny frogmouth and a bee eater, so I did that. And then I was comparing some different markers that I had. Like these are the Prismacolor colors, and these were like as close to a dupe as I could get with Copics. So that was that. There's nothing on the other side of there. Some more characters from my novella. We've got Elizabeth and then V. Nothing on the other side there. I didn't touch this sketchbook again. I have multiple sketchbooks going at any given time. I didn't touch it again until Christmas time. So my Secret Santa gave me a bunch of fine liners, which I tested here, and a bunch of colored pencils. So I did some doodles. I drew a little Cincinnati and Kylo Ren from Star Wars down at the bottom. More Star Wars doodles. You see a little Rey up top. I was trying to figure out how to draw her. Messed up this one pretty bad, but whatevs. This one was the line art that I used for like a color comparison between different brands of markers. But that video like had all sorts of problems recording and the sound kept jumping. So I don't think I ever published that one, but this was the line art and then I colored it like using whichever markers I wanted for this version. So I really like it. That was another like joke about my novella is these two characters. They talk about adopting a chameleon together as like, you know, the next step in their relationship. Now this is actually older than the sketchbook is. This was like a scrap of paper I used when I was making a card. These are Lawn Fawn stamps, but I really liked the pattern and I thought it was cute and I didn't want to just throw it out. So I punched holes in the top and I added it here. And then this was the same. These was a bunch of scrap paper I used for my sister's birthday card a couple years ago. And I didn't want to throw it out because like I looked at it and I remembered making the card and how much thought I put into the design and it made me happy. So I just added it to the sketchbook. There's more Star Wars doodles. And then there was a little doodle about how I'm the worst content creator ever because I already have anxiety after sharing something immediately. More Star Wars doodles. If you've never seen Ripper Street, you should watch that show. I doodled my boy Matthew McFadden, plays like the main character, Detective Reed, and I tried to doodle him. And then there was this like post going around on Tumblr. It was just this like black void cat beast, and I drew that too. And then I have a tendency to like draw on scraps of paper, so I've been taping them in to my sketchbooks. That's what this was. This was some doodles from work, and I like the other side too, so I saved those. And then my cousin posted this like draw a giraffe without looking or something thing that I did, and that's my giraffe that I drew. More characters from Noelle. We've got V and Noelle. On the other side, we've got Noelle at her job. She's a waitress. And spoilers down at the bottom there, but you're probably not going to read it anyway, so whatevs. And then when my best friend Rachel designed characters for a story that I wrote called Gragulax, when she finished all the artwork, I drew her one of the characters and, you know, the little "You Did It" banner. And then there was me drawing the characters there. She did a much better job in the book, which you can get on Etsy if you go to her Etsy. If you look up Gragulax, it should pop up. If I think of it, I'll put a link in the description. And there's Tommy from Noelle. And another drawing from Noelle. So there's the Shrimp Showdown. It's an arm wrestling competition over the last cocktail shrimp. And Elizabeth wins it and then presents the shrimp to her new girlfriend, which was like, you know, wow. I thought it was funny. I was testing some pens. I got the Posca pens and I was comparing them to gel pens I had been using. I was going to make Rachel a Valentine's Day card, but my cat got really sick around Valentine's Day, so I never actually made the card. But the idea was that I was going to make like a comic where I was giving her a card that said, "Be mine." I'm like, wait, what's this? I don't want to possess you. Like, I value your independence. And then this is a birthday card design for one of my coworkers. So I was going to use like floral stamps in the background and a happy birthday stamp in the center there. So this was kind of me like, you know, working out a design. Oh, and I had to censor this because it's an adult joke, but this was back in March. I just did more doodles. Guess you can pause it if you want to read that, but don't really want to get into it. These ones are going to be hard to see because I use non-photo blue and I was just sketching my characters. There's Matt and Tommy, also from Noelle. This was me after buying more markers, after I specifically set out to not do that. I did it anyway. I'm addicted. More characters, little kitty. These were more doodles, like, you know, that I just taped in here with this washi tape, little thin washi tape. Another doodle from Noelle. Her boyfriend, Emil, is a smoker, and they go out on a hike, and she's, like, shocked that he's actually in shape, and she's not cut out for this. So that was what that was about. Then there was when I was trying to get his design, Emil's design, kind of hashed out, because I wasn't really planning on drawing anything. Like, it's written. It's like a written story. But I wanted to get character designs for doodles kind of fleshed out. So that was what I settled on for Emil. There he is when he was younger. He's going through a rough time. Now he looks, you know, like he's got his stuff together. Other stuff at the bottom. Whoops. Oop. sorry, we had some sort of technical difficulties. I was going to do some Star Wars button designs. This was going to be Rey and BB-8, but I ended up not actually making these buttons because, you know, whatevs. And then I was doing more Star Wars designs I wasn't very happy with. Over here, I've got more doodles that I cut out and taped in. These were other waiting room doodles from another medical appointment, but I actually didn't have to wait that long, so I didn't have as much time to doodle as I had expected I would. Then I drew a little girl. Chardonnay is her name. My friend's sheep was really sick, so I doodled a little picture of like just basically the idea of what Dottie the sheep looks like, but she's really cute. I think she came out cute. It's one of my characters. I forget why I drew this. I don't think this was, you know, any significance, but he came out pretty cute. More doodles on the other side. Here I've got some characters from another idea I have called Zombie Equestrians, and it's about like horse girls in the zombie apocalypse and like how they're dedicated to, you know, continuing to care for their horses because horse people are crazy. I'm a horse person. We're nuts. Drew a little chinchild. More characters of mine. There's a little Charmander doodle at the bottom. I thought he was cute. Then this was from Mermaid. I drew a little mermaid, captive mermaid, in this little tiny inadequate tank. I don't know, I really like the idea of captive mermaids, so that's what I did. This was another character of mine. Her name is Rhea. And then when I made my Star Wars fanzine, this was my sketch for like what I wanted the cover to look like, so I thought it was cute, so I saved that so I could remember it. These are more characters of mine. You remember Mara from like the earlier doodles on the earlier part of this year's sketchbook. This was like an alternate universe where I had the idea that she's like little Purple Riding Hood and then he's the big bad wolf, but he's like very nervous and shy and not threatening at all. And I did some pen tests down here. I had like some glitter pens I was trying out. And I thought they were cute, so I just cut it out and saved it. I was drawing on this like craft paper, and that gave me the idea to, you know, get some craft pages for this that I haven't actually used yet. But there's some more Mara doodles down there. Some more doodles from the same little universe. Then I bought, I used to just have the light blue color, you know, erasable colored pencil, but I kind of went nuts and I bought like the entire line. And then I bought a couple of these Papermate Clear Point to compare to the color Eno. So that's like the Eno color and that's the Papermate version. And they were very similar. You definitely don't need to get both. So, you know, pick one or the other. They erase pretty well, all of them. You know, they're great for like under sketches. And then one of my friends got a mouse and I was inspired to draw some cute mice. So that's what happened there. There's Matt and Tommy again. I liked drawing. What inspired me to do this was I wanted to draw her in like Timberland boots. So that's what I did here. And she's drinking a bubble tea and he's got like a tea or coffee or something. Cute, cute little babies. Then this was after I adopted my kitten Claire. She wasn't eating, so I made this little comic, you know, commemorating when I had to take her to the emergency hospital. So it's like, welcome home. Like, look, I got you food. And she's like, no, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to starve to death instead. I'm like, that's not an option, Claire. And this is not from the same series. I just kind of sketched this here too. And that's my joke about how little tiny Claire came and like dominated Nero and put him in his place. And I made like a Game of Thrones joke about it. Then I was trying to redesign one of Tommy's older outfits, which you might remember from a previous video if you watched that, where I did the redraw of that outfit. So the updated version is that it's like a traditional denim jacket and it's like a light wash and it's not a blazer, like it's got like a normal, you know, denim jacket look to it. And just like red sneakers and not slip-ons. And there she is joking with her boyfriend. There she is mad. That was a sketch I did, like in regards to the same redraw that I did of an old middle school, you know, comic I did. And this was when I got my foster kitten Peachy. So I drew little Peach, you know, as a little blob, just a cute little caricature of her. Then there's Wrangler, my horse. That's kind of, you know, he's got his freckly blaze on his face, so that's supposed to be him. This is another character of mine, Louise. And that's Tommy again out there. I liked how I used the yellow tape and the yellow, I used a highlighter to just add some color to that. If you've never watched the North and South TV series, you should watch it. I was rewatching it and inspired to draw Margaret. So I was trying to capture her outfit and like these yellow roses in the background, you know. I thought it was fun. Not my best work, but I'm happy with it. And this was a joke character from, I think a couple pages from here, you'll see I have a magical nurse girl character. It was originally going to be a video game. If you Google Pretty Nurse Penicillin, you might be able to find the demo out there, but I kind of gave up on that when my last computer crashed. So this was the like tuxedo mask equivalent character, and he's Dr. Handsome, and he wears shutter shades. And like part of the joke is that these girls are like, they're like high school girls, and this is like an adult man, and he's like an actual doctor in real life, and they're super creeped out by him, and I thought it was hilarious. And there was another Claire comic where I'm, you know, kind of bummed out that she's getting so big, but she plans on getting much bigger, I think. I suspect she's going to be a pretty large cat. So nothing on the other side here. Sometimes I don't have things to tape, so I just leave them blank. And these were from earlier this month. I was just drawing with some new fine liners I got, and so I was drawing some other characters of mine. There's a 10, Rebecca, and this is Emmy, and this is Rebecca and like her boyfriend Sebastian. And she's manipulating him, but he's into it, so it's cool. And I like the little joke. She's supposed to be a vampire, so like I like the idea that she's like learning about modern culture and like making jokes about it. So she's like, you can call me Becky with the good hair, and it's like, you know. Nothing on the other side here. Here is Rebecca again, and here she's mad at one of my other characters. Here she is learning about crop tops. There's her awesome party mansion where she lives. My other character, Louise, Sebastian and a 10. She's mad. Nothing back here. And here's what I was talking about, the magical nurse girl, Pretty Nurse Penicillin. And I'm gonna have to change the design of like the weapon that she uses because it just looks too blocky. That's not cool. But I'm probably not gonna do anything with this idea anyway. Her like familiar mentor is Cotton, who's like a little cotton puff alien from the past future. So it's the past future space hospital is like, you know, the place where they're all theoretically getting their powers from, I guess. And there was villains, and these are two of the villains. There's a group of 4, the first ones that they would battle. They're called the Allergenerates, and they're all allergen themed. Haha, you know, I'm so clever. But this one up here, if you can see, is Pollen. So she's got like a leafy theme with like little puffs of pollen around. And this is my favorite, was Peanut. So she's nut allergies, obviously. And she's got a little squirrel friend here. So I think she's cute. Then here I drew Toru from Fruits Basket. That was kind of just like a warm-up sketch that I had done with the idea. And then I redrew the Fruits Basket Volume 1 cover because I kept getting ads for, you know, the remake of the anime. And I was like, you know, bringing back memories from when I was in middle school and I really liked Fruits Basket. So here she is. I think she came out pretty good. And that is the end of this section, I believe, of this sketchbook. I have here, it's just like another piece of cardstock, but there's like little holes in the tabs. So I just use this to put behind whatever page I'm like currently drawing on if I'm coloring with markers to protect it. So you can see there's some like bleed through marks on here, but that is the point of this page. So it travels around the sketchbook depending on where I need it. So these are all just blank pages. As I said, this sketchbook is not yet complete. So one day they'll have stuff on them, but right now they don't. Then there's a divider until we go to the next section. So this was like another alternate universe with my character Mara, where she's a princess. And these pages are just like really cheap, like sketch paper from an old sketchbook I had that fell apart. I was watching a lot of Lizzo videos, so I tried to draw her from Truth Hurts, the music video, but I don't think I did her justice. She's a lot prettier in real life. And there's not a whole lot in this section yet because I just added it. There's Tommy and Matt again. This was right after I went on a beach vacation, and I kind of drew my characters as if you know, part of the story is that these guys go on a beach vacation together. We don't get to see it, but I liked the idea that I get to like explore what they would be doing. And he is an albino and he gets horribly sunburnt and he needs to go to the hospital. And also, when I was at the shore this summer, there was horseshoe crabs. I've been going to this same beach my entire life, never seen a horseshoe crab. I was very off put by it. It was very frightening, you know, to be in the ocean and to like look down and just be surrounded by these guys. Like it's crazy, but it's apparently their breeding season when I was there. So V would have been really excited about that though. So there she is being excited about the horseshoe crab, her and her girlfriend enjoying the horseshoe crab, and Tommy's reacting more like I would, where it's like, ugh. And then these were, I bought these, the Bic crystal pens, and I was just sketching with those, and I was testing, you know, how they worked on this paper. And then again, I got these ink color point, colored pencils, mechanical colored pencils from the Dollar Tree at, you know, the suggestion of another YouTuber that they looked really cool, and I really like them a lot. These were other dollar store or Dollar Tree pens that I tried, and I was comparing the size to the Papermate Flare, which is a lot finer, so you can get a lot more details. That's usually what I use as a fine liner, that, and I have like a regular office pen that I typically use for most of my stuff. That's it for this group of sketchbook pages. Nothing else in there yet. Earlier I had talked about when I was, you know, doodling on that craft paper, and I really liked it. These are those pages that I added, but I haven't drawn anything on them yet. And then the last batch of pages in this sketchbook is watercolor pages. I suck at watercolor. Rachel had sent me some watercolors to play with, and this was like the test page that I did, where I was like trying to figure out what colors work together and blend together and how do I get the colors that I want. And I just thought it was really cool, so I punched holes and kept it here in the sketchbook. I was going to do this as a background for buttons. I made a little space background, but I again ended up not making those buttons. These were not done with watercolor. These were done with water-based markers, which come out pretty smooth on this watercolor paper. So this is the current, you know, version of my character Tommy, and then there's like 2 past character designs for her, and I was just kind of playing around with that. There's Mara and Katsu and Iten and Louise, and then these are more characters from Noelle, and I just thought that they came out pretty cool. And I think that is it. That's it, guys, for this sketchbook. So I hope you enjoyed my little tour today. I've got more sketchbooks if you wanted to see them. Let me know if you're interested. Thanks and have a nice day. Bye.